intentional, present, expressed within challenging relationships? And or how do you know when to discontinue the dynamic?
Ooh.
I just had this conversation before we got here. That's crazy.
So this is loaded, and I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible. First and foremost, you have to be accountable for your boundaries. And if you don't know what your boundaries are, then you can't hold a person accountable for crossing your boundary. Please receive it. So it's very important for you to do the internal work to understand why those things bother you so much. I can tell you that for me, in healing from my traumas, when things trigger me now, before I respond, I process. So I can, not to say that the person in front of me isn't violating me, but the question is, am I giving you the smoke from something that I did not heal from? That's first and foremost. So you pause. But once you determine in your processing, it goes back to writing everything down and removing the emotion, you're left with the facts. So when you go back to address the situation, cooler heads will prevail, and you know exactly where the violation occurred. Now, I will say this, and I will say this especially for us young adults. We were raised in a society where this needs to be reconditioned. We have been taught that someone else is responsible for our pain. What did that mean man do to you? What happened? Who did it? Right? And so somebody has to be accountable outside of you. But once you define what the problem is, you're accountable for addressing the situation and making it right for you. The other component, and I hope you picked this up on the speaker, fuck they feelings. Right? Because these people have imposed and trespassed and created issues for you and didn't think about, I call it the ripple. You throw a rock, you see these ripples, and it's cute because you see the ripples, but you don't understand that there's a whole ecosystem that you're disturbing under that water. So take that into consideration when you throw a rock and you see a fish floating on the side. You did that. And instead of you just saying, okay, well, that's the circle of life, that damn circle wasn't there before you threw the damn rock and caused the ripple. You know what I mean? So you have to be accountable for that. So it's easy for you to look at another person and say, you hurt me. You need to go and get help. That is called projection. So if you take a pause and you stand in your truth and say, I don't like the way you treated me. And I tell everybody, I give you 3 times. The first time is to make you aware. The second time is to remind you. And by the third time, I've already established that you said, fuck my feelings, because you ain't got no plans on making it right. So at that point, I done gave you 3 times, which is grace. Now, the decision is not yours. You don't give a person an option to leave. If you can't do better, why don't you just leave me? Where's your strength? When are you going to decide that you are strong enough to just walk away? And ultimatums means that there's still an opportunity to fix it. But if they aren't fixing it after 3 tries, then who gonna fix it? That's all I got to say about that. I hope that answered whoever question that was. If not, sidebar with me so we can have an opportunity to speak on it more deeply.